Subscribe to our channel, The Music Machine Gun, clicking on the red button and on the bell to activate all notifications so you don't miss any about exclusive musical programs and investigations.
On July 26, 1943, Michael Phillip Jagger was born at the Dartford County Livingston Hospital, Kent, England. Her parents were the Australian Eva Ensley Mary Scutts, a hairdresser by profession, born in 1930, but she saw herself as completely English, having arrived on the island when she was 4 years old, and her father Basil Fanshawe Jagger, from Lancashire, known to everyone as Joe, and who came from a Baptist family, who were forbidden to drink alcohol. Mick Jagger went to Oldham Hulme Grammar School, where his father was an assistant principal, where he was a classmate of Keith Richards, and having the coincidence, in addition to being born in the same hospital, these two people would be united for life. Mick Jagger, as a child, had an appearance on British television, in which he showed his physical abilities, a product of the physical discipline that his father instilled in him, climbing a steep top of a mountain.
Which really grip on the rock and stay gripped even in wet weather when the rock may be slimy and rubber would come off. And so we use either gym shoes, and here's Michael wearing a pair of ordinary gym shoes which you'd wear when you were playing tennis or doing gym. They're quite satisfactory for climbing on these sort of outcrops. The second man paying out the rope carefully. It's got a bit tight with him actually sort of leaning on it. So you see it's a good knot, it didn't come undone and a bit of pressure came on. He yells, "That's me," and he starts to come round the corner. And there, that's how a rock climb is done. One at a time moving, somebody tied onto the mountain.
Mick Jagger since childhood was a singer, and he enjoyed it, and he was really impacted by the rock and roll stars, which he heard on the radio through Radio Luxembourg, and that he saw on television programs such as Buddy Holly, Eddie Coram, Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry, and that led him to form a small band that would go out on Saturday nights and play wherever they could, singing Jerry Lee Lewis stuff as well as country music. That band was called Little Boy Blue and the Blue Boys, which was a skiffle band, where even Mick Jagger played the guitar. Among the young people who frequented those gigs was Dick Taylor, the guitarist who lived very close to Mick Jagger's house and who would later form the Pretty Things, and together with Keith Richards that Mick Jagger had gotten back together after they were schoolmates, they started playing in Dick Taylor's backyard, trying to extract and learn what they could from rock and roll and rhythm and blues, mostly Chuck Berry songs. Mick Jagger was able to watch on television and identify the interesting and different style of seeing things that he was approaching when he saw Chuck Berry at the Newport Jazz Festival through a high-profile documentary by filmmaker Bert Stern.
Oh, watch you look at her run. Oh, mama, please may I go? There's nothing like to leave. Got to feel the joy.
The first record that Mick Jagger bought was that of Muddy Waters in Newport, but he also listened to music that sounded in England at that time, such as Big Bill Broonzy, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and Leadbelly, who went to England on tour. Mick Jagger, as soon as he got some money together, ordered the records directly from Chess Records to be mailed to him, which were expensive, which was why it was hard to choose. For example, he bought all of Chuck Berry's, plus he also gave him he liked some jazz, and everything he could hear in the collections of his musical-loving friends. Mick began to make his first steps in music with Alexis Corner, who used to play at the Ealing Club, and there he went to see him, and after a while he began to interpret at least one song with his group, until he managed to be part of Blues Incorporated, the band formed for Alexis Corner by Cyril Davies. Mick was a big fan of Little Walter, which led him to play harmonica, which would later be a point of competition with Brian, who was a multi-instrumentalist, and which would later give a distinctive touch to many of the songs by the Rolling Stones, a band with which he would resonate for 6 decades and continues.
We are waiting for you tomorrow on this same channel, in a new chapter of Traveling in Time with the Rolling Stones. See you tomorrow.